At the start of Season 4, Stryder gave a significant buff to most of the pistols in zombies. And they even revealed that the 9mm PM had a pack-a-punch ability this entire time. So let's see if these pistols are any good. And to start us off today, we're going to be taking a look at the 9mm PM because of that pack-a-punch ability we talked about. Now, apparently the ability that it's had this entire time in the game that I don't think anybody noticed is that it's supposed to have a pretty good penetration damage buff when pack-a-punch. Meaning, if I get all these zombies lined up here, I'm supposed to be able to do a good amount of damage to most of them just through one shot. So I should be able to collat and still deal damage through a good amount of zombies or even through objects on the map. In addition to revealing its pack-a-punch ability, they also went ahead and boosted its pack-a-punch damage by 50%, its pack-a-punch damage range by 100%. They added 40 bullets to it and reduced the gun kick recoil, or at least the visual recoil to it, by a little bit. And they also reduced the damage fall off while doing penetration damage by 40%. So let's go ahead and see what this pack-a-punch ability is all about. I got all these zombies grouped up here, so let's send a shot through them real quick. So it started out at like, what, 79 damage? And it went all the way down to like 30 towards the end. I saw some 3s in there too from some armor. But let's go ahead and give us a pack-a-punch and see just how much more damage we can do with it. So now we have 30 rounds in the mag and 360 in reserve. We'll do one shot there, so it goes from 560, and I didn't really see any other damage pop up. Oh, okay. We got 3 kills right there in one bullet. So far, that's not terrible. It's not amazing, and it's not groundbreaking, but it is definitely an ability that I don't think many people noticed. And we got another group of zombies here. Let's try to send a shot through them. Not the greatest amount of damage right there. What I was really hoping is that this increased penetration damage that they were talking about would do better against armor. And it's not looking like it so far, maybe because I don't got Deadshot or I don't got this upgraded through our Aether tools, but the penetration damage isn't looking too bad, especially if we start spamming. I also added on FMJ rounds to this gun, just so we can get a little bit more penetration, and they mentioned specifically in the patch notes that it should get more of an increase to the penetration damage with that attachment. So I guess we'll see. Oh, here's a good test for armor right here. Here's a Mangler. Didn't break his helmet in one shot, or 2, or 3, or 4. It took a little more than that, but we got him down eventually. So far, not the most impressed with its pack-a-punch ability, but it does definitely seem stronger. And I do notice the pack-a-punch ability working, but is it going to be viable on some higher rounds? I'm going to go ahead and try and get this all the way maxed out, get it all the way up to Legendary and Pack 3, and get all of our perks, and we'll see how it's doing then. Now we have our pistol fully maxed out, Pack-a-Punch 3 and Legendary. Let's go ahead and see what this can do now. So a baseline for our damage. For one headshot, we are doing 10,348 damage. And where is a zombie with a helmet? There we go. Armored zombie right there. Broke the helmet in one shot. Still did 6,000 damage. But what we really want to see is that penetration damage. Can we get a good amount of kills with just one shot right there? Looks like I only took 1 out, and the rest kind of took decent damage. So we're starting at like 9 to 10,000, and it can get up to 1,400 to like 1,600 towards the back of the group. That's not bad, but then when we start spamming, the horde goes down very quickly. Here's a Mangler with their helmet on. Can we take out his helmet in one shot? Nope. But it don't take that many. And since we're testing penetration damage, let's see how long we can survive up here, or if it's viable sitting on top of the bank counter. Because all the zombies are going to have to line up for us anyways. Let's see if we can light them up. Okay, all right, relax. They immediately wanted to shut that down. But it does seem like the pack-a-punch ability is pretty decent, but the damage on the pistols still might need to go up a bit if we actually want this to be more viable on higher rounds. But it's not bad. It's a decent little buff to it. But don't think I'll be picking this as my main pistol. And from what I'm seeing, it looks like you can actually crit the Abomination through itself. Like, I'm shooting from behind the Abomination and still being able to hit its mouth from the back. Okay, I see you, 9mm. So that's a very niche little bonus you can get, but that is the little penetration damage boost in action right there. You can't deny that us penetrating it from the back is not hitting it in the mouth. Because that's all on your screen. It's happening right here. And I think this would be a very useful pack-a-punch ability on mostly any other weapon class. Because, like, yeah, it works okay. But once you start reaching the big boy rounds, like on round 36, which isn't that big of a round, but for a bullet weapon, you know, it's up there. It's not the most optimal weapon to be using. Can we headshot zombies through the abomination? I think so. We just took them out a little too quick. I guess on to the next pistol. The next pistol we'll be taking a look at is our Stryder 22 here. And in this patch, it received a 100% damage buff while pack-a-punch. It got an 80 bullet increase. And it also received a 40% boost to its penetrative damage while pack-a-punched. I don't think this also has the pack-a-punch ability where it does more damage or more damage than a normal weapon would while shooting through multiple zombies, but we'll still test it out. Here is the pre-pack-a-punch damage. It's looking like 56 damage is the most that we get, and it goes down quite a bit per zombie here, but let's go ahead and pack-a-punch it and see what that 100% increase is looking like. We'll take one shot here. So yeah, now we're doing, what was that, 502 damage for our initial shot, and then it just cascades down through the line of zombies, going down with each possible zombie here. So far, not bad. But let's go ahead and see what it's like once we get it fully maxed out and get all of our perks. And now we got our Stryder fully maxed out. Let's see what the damage is looking like on this now that we got everything fully up. Okay. You guys need to chill for a second. Let's try down the abomination to start. So looks like it's about, what was it, 11,000 damage I just saw? 10,000? Maybe even a little higher than that with our double tap augments. So 15,000 is the highest that I'm seeing so far. The penetrative damage is looking okay. Like we hit all the way through to that mangler right there. And it's doing all right taking zombies down. I think this is probably going to be about the same as our 9mm, where it's doing okay. Like, it's definitely better than it was before, but I don't know if this is the type of weapon I'd want to be bringing into this kind of round. But can we do the same thing with this as we were doing with our 9mm and hit a crit on the abomination through itself? Yeah, actually. Not as consistently, but we can definitely do it. That's so weird how that's a thing. We can shoot through the back of an abomination and hit it in the mouth. Never thought we'd be able to do that, but here we are. And it did get a 100% increase to its pack-a-punch damage, but it's still only doing like 10 to 15,000 damage per shot. Is not that impressive for a weapon, especially considering that those are headshots, and at health cap, we need to hit 5 headshots at least to kill a single normal zombie. So it does get that little increase to its penetration damage, and maybe it'll be a bit better in like a camping spot or something, but I would not put my life on the line for this pistol. It would make getting camos for it a lot easier though. Getting those critical kills would be much simpler with that added penetration damage. So it's definitely a better weapon, but probably stay away from this one at higher rounds, I would say. And last but not least, we have the Grekhova pistol, and this might have received the largest buff and also the only nerfs to the pistols. This receiving a 150% damage boost while pack-a-punch, but it also received a 30% decrease into its damage range when pack-a-punch. And the reasoning for that is in a little note underneath the patch notes saying that they wanted all the pistols to feel unique, and they wanted this one to feel like it does a bit more at close range, and you could really feel the damage fall off at longer ranges. But before we pack-a-punch it, this is the kind of damage you can expect from it right off the bat, which is not very good at all. We are doing 42 damage at the maximum per bullet, and I'm seeing as low as like 5 and 4 and even 1s in here. So let's go ahead and pack-a-punch and see how much better it gets. So we get 180 rounds just in the mag and 360 in reserve. This is probably a pistol I would have given an ammo increase to, but now the damage is looking like 408 per shot and going down from there. and it absolutely just destroyed that horde of zombies. And because they made a note of it in the patch notes, does it do boosted damage up close? Like, is it stronger the closer you are to the zombies? So that was 408 damage, and then we move back here, and that's 342 damage, so it falls off pretty quickly, even just from like a few feet away. So they really want you using this up close, but it doesn't look like it's an insane boost to the damage up close. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and get this maxed out and see how it does when it is fully pack-a-punched and fully upgraded. All right, our Grekhova is now fully maxed out, fully pack-a-punched, fully upgraded, and we now have all of our perks. And I gotta say, so far, this might be my favorite out of all the pistols that got a buff, mainly because it is fully automatic and it is very satisfying just to tear down a group of zombies with it. But like I mentioned before, both the other pistols did receive an ammo upgrade and this did not, and I feel like this is the one that needed it the most because I am running out of ammo very, very quickly here, especially now that we got double tap and everything, and look how fast this shoots. But I am struggling to keep enough money to still buy ammo while also using this weapon to get through the round. Like, it does enough damage. We are getting like 7,500 damage, it looked like, per shot there, with it only going up with our double tap augments and just, you know, laying down on the trigger here. We can just absolutely tear through everything, but definitely tear through our ammo count just as fast. And at close range, it's doing its job. Like activating a little frenzy guard and just shooting and walking. Nothing is withstanding the might of this pistol, at least for now. We are only at round 33, but it's doing a very, very good job at taking basically everything out. Like Mangler, gone. Zombies, gone. This is an absolute monster, but again, especially with the whole ammo count thing, I don't see this really lasting past the 30s in being a reliable weapon. Even if it was, it running out of ammo so frequently just makes it a liability. Like, we already burned through all of our ammo right here, and we still have most of the round to go. And we are at 21,000 points somehow, but we just took a fat chunk of it just to get the, what, 500 bullets that this thing has total. Like, it's great when you got something to shoot out of it, but you run out of that stuff very, very quickly. And I don't really think it deserved the nerf to its damage range, especially since the damage range on it seems to be very, very small, at least where the fall off starts at. But it is a very fun weapon to use. It's great, very close range, and if you got the ammo to use it. But just like all the other pistols, probably not the most reliable weapon to be using at a later round. What I will say though is I do appreciate them going back and looking at some other weapon classes that maybe don't get touched as often, besides the GS45s, where everybody uses those and uses the Mustang Sally pack-a-punch ability with it to just, you know, tear through rounds with the explosive ammo that comes out of it. I like that they're going back through and trying to make each weapon a little more unique and make sure that some of the other weapons in a weapon class aren't like completely left behind and forgotten about. And, you know, they're tweaking these underused pistols and trying to make them better and more suitable for people that want to have a little bit of a different experience in zombies and use some different weapons here and there and make them a bit more viable, and I appreciate that. They might have over tweaked a little bit, or at least under tweaked the damage range on this weapon, and could have added a bit more ammo to it, but it's still a fun weapon to use. It ain't bad. Abomination's getting torn up by it, and we can still get a little bit of the penetration there, so they might have tweaked penetration on all pistols, but we are already about to run out of ammo again with it. Damn, we did smoke the Abomination though. I guess we'll see if this can survive a final stand here in the bank on top of the counter. Let's stand up here, and you know what? For fun, let's use our free fire gobblegum and just let it rip. So far, so good. The zombies can't really get that close to us unless they try to cheat and walk all the way to the end of the counter before climbing. But for the most part, we can just tear right through all of them. This is round 37. So it ain't no baby round. These zombies do get a decent amount of health at round 37. And we are still handling them with relative ease. But you just might need that infinite ammo gobblegum to make it work on these higher rounds. Will you even be able to get through the round before this gobblegum expires? Yep, I think so. Yes, sir. And there goes our gobblegum right now. Well, now that we're fully ammoed up, let's see if we can survive this round. Or if we will run out of ammo before then. I have a feeling we're going to run out of ammo before we're even close to this round being over. Let's throw a little decoy. What's our power up here? Armor? Okay, I'll take it. I used a max ammo, but it's fine. And we'll just let it rock. We'll use our frenzied as well. Don't need to reload. But I don't think we're gonna have enough ammo to even reload. We got a decent amount dropping though. Hold on. And there it goes. There's some more. And we burnt through it instantly. We just gotta keep wandering around, hoping we can find a little bit of ammo on the ground. Oh, and an insta-kill. We can use that. Just gotta tap these guys down. And we did it. We actually survived a round without having to go and buy ammo. Don't think we could have done it without the insta-kill, but we got close. So that 150% increase to the pack-a-punch damage, I wouldn't say it's not noticeable. Because you definitely can still do a good amount of damage to zombies on, you know, close to round 40 here. Like, we're still living. Of course, you're not going to be single firing this unless there's an insta-kill about. But, yeah, the damage, it's all right. It's decent. Could probably use a little bit of a buff. But honestly, you just give this, like, you know, you double the ammo on it. I think that might be a good enough buff to it. Or even triple the ammo. Give it at least 1,000 bullets total. And then we're talking. Then this is actually might be somewhat viable of a weapon. But the constant trips to the ammo cache really hold it back. Zombies to the decoy. This is between me and the abomination. You'll leave us be. See you around, partner. Oh, and there's another one immediately. And there goes all of our ammo. Okay, well, we tried. But I think we're toast here. Yep. At least we can use it on the ground. Goodbye, cruel world. So overall, did this buff help out the pistols? I think so. It definitely made them a lot better to use, but are they any viable on some sort of higher round past like round 35? I would say no. Maybe the Grekhova could be if you don't mind running and grabbing ammo every few seconds, but the rest of them, they have their niches, they have their uses, but they still just don't reach that mark to be anywhere near as good as like the GS45s or something that you'd want to use on a higher round past 35. But I do think this is a step in the right direction to getting some of the underused weapons or weapon classes more used in zombies, making them more viable. But for now, it's just a little underwhelming. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I truly appreciate our love and support, and I will see you in the next one. Later.